Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Liz if you're new here, and this is Liz and Let Grow. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I start my seeds indoors. The last video was winter sowing, what my winter sowing looks like, what I sowed in my jugs. I hope you watched that. If you did, make sure to put a little milk emoji in the comments of this video to let me know. So I have my cells here. I'm just going to be filling them with dirt, and then I'm going to go over all of the perennial seeds, the annual seeds that I'm going to be starting right now. It is currently the end of January 2025, and I'm starting a lot of stuff indoors just so that I can have bigger plants to plant outside in the landscape. I have a whole bunch of new gardens that I mulched last year. I got a whole big pile of free mulch. So I'm really hoping to just have those exploding with perennials, you know, some annual flowers here and there, but mostly perennials. And I'm shooting for like a semi-wild, cottagey English garden type vibe. Let's just jump into the video. The first things you're going to need are seed trays. This is a 72 count, I think it's Jiffy brand, and it has the humidity dome that goes on top of it. And these you can pick up at Walmart, Home Depot, any big box store. This has a humidity dome. Just to get the seedlings germinated, once they're germinated, you do want to take the humidity dome off. You can pretty much use any kind of vessel really that has okay drainage. You want it to have drainage because you don't want the plants sitting in water and just rotting. For some things, I'm going to be using these little biodegradable pots here with something to catch the water underneath. All right, so for my seed starting, I'm going to be using this Espoma organic seed starting mix. You do want to use, when you're doing indoor seeds, you do want to use the seed starting mix because it's lighter, it's loftier. It doesn't hold on to quite as much water. I'm going to be using this for all my seed starting indoors just because it helps the root system develop really nicely and doesn't really provide a lot of resistance to the roots when they're developing. When you up pot, you can use regular potting soil, but when you're first starting them out as little tiny seeds, it is helpful to have this. And you can make your own. There's tons of videos online, but this is what I'm using right now. So I'm going to open this up, put it into my container, and wet it. So that's what it looks like. All those little white bits I think are perlite, which is kind of like a little, it's like a natural foam. It just helps retain moisture. So let's wet this down a little bit. Let's see how that is. That's pretty good. So it's holding together pretty nicely, and there's no water coming out when I squeeze it. So the easiest way to do this is just to take your seed cell tray like this, put it over whatever thing you have, and just fill it like that. So I have all of my seed cells all filled. I have 4 trays of them, and they fit beautifully on this rack here. I have the light here. They're actually LEDs. They're the Happy Leaf brand, so they have the perfect amount of the perfect whatever light that the plants need. I'm gonna start filling these. I'm gonna bring you in a little closer, show you what I'm planting and how many I'm planting. I do have quite a bit of real estate to work with, but then again, I do have a lot of seeds. In the last video, I showed you what I planted in the winter sowing, and these plants that I'm planting here are more perennials, also some annuals, but mostly flowers. I'm gonna leave the vegetables for a little bit later, and the vegetables I'm gonna leave for those two. I'm not starting too many vegetables indoors, just mostly the tomatoes and the peppers, things like that. These are the pile of seeds I'm going to be working with. I have a piece of masking tape that I put here, and I usually just write whatever is on here. I think I've been using for, 2 years, 1 year, but they're still holding up pretty well. 72 cells times 4 is 288 individual cells, and I have 16 packets of seeds that I want to sow in here. So that adds up to 18 cells per seed type. I'll have more of some things than other things. Like I have more lupins than these helichrysum. They're like paper flowers. They're really good in like dried arrangements and things. So I only have a few of those. So we'll see how many I get done in here, but let's get planting. So when you're planting seeds, the first thing you want to do is look at the back, and it will tell you days to germinate, and the seed depth is the most important thing. Some seeds only need like sunflowers only need to be surface sown and pressed gently into the soil because the light aids germination. But for this status cotton candy blend, it says seed depth surface to 1/8, so barely covered. And so we're going to be doing 3 rows of status. Also, this says seeds basing a group of 3 seeds every 12 inches. So we'll do 3 seeds, about 3 seeds in every cell. They look like that. And then we're just going to take a mister and settle those in. That's one down. Next, we're going to do the yarrow. This says a group of 3 seeds every 18 to 24 inches, press into soil surface. So these will also be surface sown. We'll do these 3. So these are the yarrow Colorado blend. I think I might just sow as many as I have because I don't see myself keeping these for that long. It's the yarrow seeds. I highly recommend a mister too, if you don't have one for seed starting, because if you try to do this with a watering can, unless it's a tiny little one with little holes, it's just going to be too much water. You're just going to have floating seeds everywhere. This is also another reason why you want to be pre-moistening your soil so that you don't have to do an insane deep water. That was the yarrow. The helichrysum we're going to do for the last row. I don't think I have very many of these seeds. This says depth to sow 1/4 inch. So these do want to be a little bit deeper. This is an annual, and says seed spacing 1 inch. Yeah, these are for 2022. The reason you don't want to keep seeds too long is because the germination rate of your seed packet will go down. So maybe for every 5 seeds, 2 will germinate, or for every 5 seeds, 1 will germinate. So I will be putting more seeds in here than you would normally if this were a fresh packet. Those are the seeds. We're going to be doing 2 different kinds of snapdragon. These are annuals. These are older seeds. These are newer seeds. These are super tall, and they're going to be beautiful for cut flowers. So this says these want to be surface sown, and a group of 3 seeds every 12 inches. So we'll do a couple seeds in each tray, and I think I'm going to do 3 of these and then 3 of these. Yeah, light aids germination, so you do want to surface sow these. These are the King Silvery Rose. These are tender perennials, so they may come up again, they may not. These also want to be surface sown, a group of 3 seeds every 12 inches. That's the straw flower. So we're going to start with the impatiens. The impatiens seeds. We're gonna do some ornamental grass and then wildflowers. Seeds look like? They almost look like little sesame seeds. We have 3 rows left and we're just going to be dividing up the wallflower mix. Oh, they look like they're pelletized, which means they're coated in like clay. So some of these seeds take up to 30 days to germinate, which means you won't see anything going on for about a month. But that's just the nature of perennials. They usually take a while. So let me get this plugged in and I'll show you what that looks like. So there we go. We got 4 flats of seeds planted today. That is a lot of flowers. I'm so excited to have these out in my landscape, and I do have a little space heater going on. It's already 47 degrees right here. Heat rises, so I'm hoping that it'll create a little microclimate down here. I might also throw up some kind of wall or something. I don't know. I do have some curtains here, some lined curtains that hopefully will just retain a little bit more of the heat here. I am so excited. Oh my gosh. If winter is boring for you, if winter is depressing for you, start some seeds, and it is just something to look forward to. It's in anticipation of spring. It's in anticipation of summer. It's quite miraculous, honestly, to watch them grow. They can offer so much beauty. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, please give it a like, subscribe. There's going to be more where this came from and more DIYs, more garden content. I want to show you fun like decor items that I want to repurpose for the garden. I want to bring you along because I think that the more that you can spend outside, get your hands dirty, get your feet in the dirt, feet in the grass, I just think that more people need to do it more often. And this is coming from a person who never thought that she would be into gardening. Like, I was allergic to the outdoors, literally and figuratively, when I was little, but I have grown to just love this so much and love gardening and sharing it. So thank you for coming along with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.